social withdrawal. People not really want. He doesn't want to be around other people. Considers himself possibly a failure. And for verbal, we said I just want to end it all. That would be a warning sign.
Or maybe having domestic violence issues, missing from work or school, being standoffish, loss of a pet, maybe. You know, those could be some signs.
I wrote like 10 different things. I don't remember what I wrote. I really don't. I wrote one for like each color except for green. I don't know any situation.
He is lack of interest in his activities. He's clearly depressed. He's saying he keeps saying, "What's the point anymore?" And he has no family support when there's negative stuff happens to him. And again, he's dragged behind in the activities.
How are we gonna tell him how? We're telling him things that matter. He doesn't think anything matters. Well, what about your family? What about your friends? What about your pet goldfish? You gotta feed him. You know.
Because he can't have a dog because he lives in the dorm.
Yeah.
Well, basically, like our scenario is someone who has like extreme financial hardship, and so they're becoming depressed and socially withdrawn, and they're making suicidal statements. So we're trying to we have these like 4 characteristics of this person, and we're gonna see like what are the repercussions of these things, and then how can we break or attack those problems to reverse it towards a better, healthier outcome.
He lost a loved one, so he's depressed and considering suicide.
So, what is one of the idea you know?
A lot of it's like considering therapy or like mental health to try and get him out of the depression, get him out of that state, and then maybe like medication, just talking to him.
We have a whole bunch of stuff on there because whoever made that one misunderstood and they just put like everything they could think of. But our person basically they're going through a lot of issues with their family and divorce and stuff. And they're being distant from people. And
This is basically the whole shebang. He's just going all out with this, so I'm trying to buy him some extreme help.
Yeah.
And trying to get some people to talk to him and trying to get him on the right track.
We think basically what comes back to it, like in my experience, the people that I have known that have actually ended their life. One of the big contributing factors is the reason that they don't care about their life anymore is because they think that nobody cares about their life anymore. You just have to let the people know that they're still cared about by you.
He is coping with this with drug and alcohol abuse. Has major anxiety, and he approaches us with the phrase, "Maybe you're better off without me." There's different ways to approach a situation like this. The blunt approach, and then there's the more tactful approach. In the end, you're comforting and helping them ventilate their problem. There's not much that you can really do as a supervisor to help with the drug and alcohol abuse unless you actually help them get into rehab. There's nothing you can really do for that. With the anxiety, you can attempt to comfort them. And you can also drop subtle hints to go to, try and find help, but never, directly go straight to it because you don't want to scare them away from it. Then, even after they've dealt with their other situations, you should continue to help them even after, because there are long-term consequences from things.
You know, too much debt, which can lead to, you know, the person's not able to take care of his family. He feels kind of helpless. Like it's financial debt's a repeating cycle. He's never going to be able to get out of it. And our goal here would be to relieve the financial stress. And in doing that, we could take him to the Air Force Family Readiness Center, which will help them with his budget, along with, you know, any emergency loans that he might need to cover up his debt that he's currently in. Financial hardship can lead to depression. Under depression, you'd get low self-esteem, insomnia, physiological as well as psychological effects, stress, and pretty much our goal here would be able to aid mental health and self-esteem. And by doing that, we can help them, you know, seek for professional help, medical help as well, and pretty much, you know, help them focus on the positive things that they need. Depression can lead to social withdrawal, and under social withdrawal, you know, you can see that does not enjoy the hobbies that he used to enjoy anymore. Avoids contact with friends. He's not really looking for help, and pretty much if the person was a social butterfly before, is no longer a social butterfly. And then our goal there would be to return that person to their normal social status. And by doing that, you know, we need recognition from both the individual and his friends. We're going to need intervention and also organizing a group gathering, so help bring that person back in inside that, you know, your friendship circle. And all these factors can lead to the thought of suicide, and for here we put, I just want to end it all. Pretty much this person feels like suicide is the only way out. He has serious thoughts of hurting himself and pretty much pure hopelessness. And our goal would be suicide prevention and receiving help. To do this, you can take them seriously. Make sure they know that, you know, people care about them, they're not alone. You know, day one, just creative thinking and how to construct like an aircraft based on the materials we were given with, you know, sticks, cardboard, paper and stuff. And I didn't think it was actually going to fly, but based on, you know, some of the guys and everybody working together to construct pretty much a plane, I was actually able to fly pretty good.
Day one was, I mean, it was fun. We had like a fun, you know, creative thinking activity, like teamwork based thing. And I really enjoyed making the kite, and I just thought it was fun to work with teammates. As far as like learning, I've never really thought about like actively thinking about creative thinking. I feel like I'm a fairly creative person and I come up with outside of the box solutions, but I found that it's a lot harder to do that whenever you're like tasked with doing that and you're tasked with thinking creatively. So I just found it was more of a challenge whenever somebody like challenges you to think creatively to actually think creatively.
Day two, I know we covered a lot of like, you know, suicide prevention and what to look for in a person. So, you know, definitely thinking outside that box and paying attention to how people act, especially your friends, because you never know when something might be affecting them.
Day two, just learning how many different ways there are to identify different situations at different times with different people.
Day two, basically, I feel like that was just more applied creative thinking in the actual like subject matter that you're interested in, and I have really strong feelings about suicide in general, but putting those aside, I felt that it was good just to kind of think about outside of the box answer to like what everybody already tells you to do, because being in the Air Force, we have 1,000 briefings a week about, you know, look out for your airmen, make sure everybody's okay, like see these signs, and just to take a different approach to it, like, you know, different ways that you can help them out versus, you know, the prescribed approach, I thought was refreshing and probably a good thing. Absolutely. I mean, creative thinking is, I mean, it's basically just coming up with solutions to problems on your own. It's problem solving, on steroids. So having that ability, I mean, one, it would make the Air Force a better place, and two, just make it easier to do your job and do anything really.
Every day, like, we're faced with different problems, Not everything's going to go the way you have a plan or the way you want it to go. So you have to think, you have to come up with other solutions, other ideas, other ways to accomplish the task.
Things aren't going to happen textbook style hardly ever, so you have to think of different ways of how to fix things. It's a never-ending cycle.
I thought it was really good. As far as improving it, I mean, I don't really know. I feel like I do a terrible job at putting together workshops, so it's way too much organization for me. But I thought it was good, and I think that the free food is a really good way to get people into.
It was pretty stressful with the timeline, but if you have something else, some other outside factor, loud music, someone else just coming and talking to you, just kind of distractions in between.
Oh yeah, maybe take away like a form of communication or something.
Just something more stressful, get you thinking more outside the box.